Imagine waking up in a world with no jackets, no shoes, no warm blankets, and no protection from the freezing wind. A world where humans had to walk across forests, mountains, and open lands with nothing but their own bodies. Today, wearing clothes feels normal. But there was a time when humans had never created clothing. So, how did the first humans survive? How did they protect themselves from the cold nature and even the changing way they saw themselves? Thousands of years ago, the Earth was a completely different place. There were no houses with heating, no modern tools, no comfortable beds. Every day was a fight against nature. A cold night could become dangerous, a storm could destroy shelter, and a long journey could push humans to their limits. Early humans were surrounded by animals that had natural protection. Wolves had fur, bears had thick coats. Many creatures were already built for extreme environments. But humans had something different. They had imagination. Humans were not the strongest animals. They were not the fastest. They did not have sharp claws or thick fur. But humans had a powerful ability. They could learn from the world around them. Instead of waiting for nature to protect them, they created their own protection. Fire gave them warmth. Shelters protected them from storms. And eventually something else changed human history forever: clothing. But surviving the cold was not the only reason humans started covering their bodies. As humans lived together in groups, something else began to change: their minds, their societies, and the way they understood themselves. At first, the human body was simply part of survival. There was no idea of fashion, no idea of style, no idea of clothing. But as communities became closer, humans began creating social behaviors. They started understanding personal space, privacy, and how they were seen by others. Over many generations, humans developed a stronger sense of self. They began to understand that they were not just surviving animals. They were individuals living together. The body became connected with identity and social life. What was once completely natural slowly became something people wanted to protect. Clothing was no longer only about staying warm. It became part of human culture, a way humans interacted with each other. The first solutions were simple. Humans used what they could find around them: leaves, plants, natural materials. But these did not last long. They could break. They could not handle harsh weather. Then humans discovered a much better material: animal skins. After hunting animals for food, humans realized that the skin could also help them survive. The same animals that provided food could also provide protection. Creating the first clothing was not easy. Humans had no machines, no factories, no modern tools. They only had simple tools made from stone and bone. They learned how to prepare animal hides. They learned how to shape them. And slowly they created the first basic clothing. These clothes were not created for appearance. They were created because humans faced a challenge, and they found a solution. Once humans had clothing, the world became bigger. Cold environments were no longer impossible. Humans could travel farther. They could explore new lands. They could survive in places where life was extremely difficult. A simple piece of animal skin became one of humanity's greatest survival inventions. Over thousands of years, clothing continued to evolve. Animal skins became woven materials. Simple coverings became advanced designs. Humans learned to use different resources from nature: plants, fibers, different materials. Every generation improved what the previous generation created. The clothes we wear today are connected to those first humans who tried to survive. Today, we wear clothes without thinking about their history: a jacket, a shirt, a pair of shoes. They seem ordinary, but thousands of years ago, they represented survival, adaptation, and human creativity. The first clothes were not created for fashion. They were created because humans wanted protection: protection from the cold, protection from nature, and a new way to understand themselves. Because humans survived not by being the strongest, but by adapting to the world around them. Human evolution was not about changing our bodies. It was about changing our ability to survive. But the story of clothing does not end with the first animal skins, because the invention of clothes created something much bigger than protection. It changed the way humans interacted with the world. A piece of material wrapped around the body became a symbol of intelligence, creativity, and survival. Humans had found a way to overcome a problem that nature never solved for them. As humans moved across different parts of the planet, clothing changed with them. People living in cold regions needed different protection. People living in warmer areas created lighter coverings. Every environment created a new challenge, and every challenge created a new invention. Humans were not just wearing clothes, they were carrying thousands of years of adaptation with them. Slowly, clothing became more than survival. It became connected with human culture. Different groups created different styles, different materials, different ways of expressing themselves. A simple idea that started because of the cold became something that showed creativity and identity. The same invention that helped humans survive nature also helped humans build societies. Without clothing, human history could have looked completely different. Many places on Earth may have remained unreachable. Extreme environments could have stopped human expansion, but clothing gave humans an advantage. It allowed them to step into unknown lands, face new challenges, and continue moving forward. Today, we look at clothes as something ordinary, something we choose every morning. But behind every shirt, every jacket, and every pair of shoes is an ancient story. A story of humans standing against nature. A story of curiosity. A story of survival. The first humans did not have the world made for them, so they created their own way to survive. And that ability to adapt, create, and overcome is what made humans different. Clothing was not just something humans wore. It was one of the first tools that changed humanity forever.